It is said in Hindi that जहाँ क्रोध होता है वहाँ पानी के मटके भी सूख जाते हैं, which means that the urns or the pots they dry up when there is anger. Even the pots of water dry up where there is anger. And Baba says that it is because of this anger that Bharat, which was full of treasures and prosperity, all that was lost. And we have come to this place where we are completely bankrupt. So Baba asks us to win over this vice of anger. Now just check within yourself, how much anger do you have? Yes, and there is a lot of anger, and this is why Baba is talking about anger, because Baba only speaks to his children. So definitely there is this issue of anger with children also. That's why Baba is speaking the Murli to us. Now you see, first thing that we need to understand is anger is a sanskar that we have created from the copper age until the iron age. It is a sanskar given to us by Ravan. Now you see that a sanskar is called a second nature. A habit sanskar becomes like a second nature. And you feel that, that it is very natural and it comes from within. But the thing is that we have created a sanskar by getting angry one time, second time, third time, and n number of times when you do something, it becomes a sanskar. Now, when something becomes a sanskar, the beautiful thing is, previously there are situations and circumstances in which you create a sanskar. And Ravan tells you that in such a situation, this is the way you need to behave. And then you keep behaving and acting in that way, and it creates a sanskar. But once a sanskar is created, then that sanskar will express itself irrespective of any situation or circumstance. That sanskar will find its situations and circumstances. I don't know whether you are getting it or not, but if you have a sanskar of anger, you will be very expert and skilled at finding reasons to be angry in the most peaceful places. That is what sanskar does. And you will find reasons to insult somebody, to be angry about somebody, to dismiss somebody, to reject somebody, despite not very good reason for that to happen. And this is the law of the sanskar. So when you create a sanskar, it is situations and Ravan which makes you create it. But then once you have created a sanskar, that sanskar is no longer, it's no longer at the mercy of situations. A sanskar can create its own situations, or a sanskar can give you the logic that this situation is difficult enough for me to get angry. And have you seen people getting angry at very little things? Yes, very little things. And who decides what is a little thing and what is a big thing? Who decides that? Your sanskar. So if you have a sanskar of peace, you will find everything a little thing. And if you have a sanskar of anger, then you will find everything a big thing, and a thing that needs to get needs you to get angry about. And I will tell you one situation. There was this one brother, and there was somebody who was talking very ill about that brother, and he came to know that, and he still kept very peaceful. He was very calm and very peaceful. And then there was another person in that scene, and he asked that brother, why didn't you get angry because somebody who is alleging you falsely, somebody putting allegations on you, that to false allegations, it is good reason enough to get angry. So you must be feeling disturbed and angry. And this brother said, no, it's okay. So he said, but how can you not be angry about this? I don't understand. So this brother gave a very good explanation. He said that, these are things that are not in our control, and I don't get affected in any way by things that are not in my control. So even if I get angry, I have no control over what that person speaks to 10 people. So I should not participate in this game of, trying to stop that person, because I know I can't. So this person said, but you can also threaten him that, if you speak like this about me, I will also speak like, I will also start talking the same about you. So he said, even then, there is no guarantee that this person will stop speaking ill about me, but there is complete guarantee that I will lose my sanskar of decency, and I will start having that sanskar of talking ill about somebody. And the big thing is that when I have to go, I have to give an account of what I did, my karma and my sanskar. Doesn't matter what happened because whatever is happening is a scene in the drama. So you see that there are situations where most people would say that it is a reason to get angry, but somebody who has understood the truth will say that there is no reason to be angry ever. And just ask yourself today that, do you believe that there is never any reason to be angry? No reason is big enough to get you into anger. So that thing you have to check within yourself, because anger is a vice, and I am a viceless soul, and I am somebody who is going to be a deity. So there is no reason for me to be angry in whatever situation. And there is one saying in the world that if you invite the pig will always love to play in the dirt. Yes, so in the world out there, people have only this work, the spilling dirt on somebody, getting angry, hurling insults. These are the things that people in the world do. But if you also start participating in that, then they will do it anyway, and you will lose your sanskar of peace and purity. So Baba says, you cannot stop anybody else from behaving angrily, or you cannot even stop somebody from engaging in actions, the seed of which is anger. But you have to stop yourself from participating in it. And first, let's understand, why do we have to stop ourselves from participating in it? Because you see, wherever there is anger, then everything around that angry space starts to, there's a dissipating, there's a, deteriorating energy. Everything starts disintegrating and collapsing in that space. And anger is like heat, anger is like fire. You say the fire of lust and anger. So anger is like that fire that burns everything around. And if you don't finish that anger within yourself, then everything you have will be lost gradually. And have you seen people who have lost everything because of anger? Have you seen those people who have lost everything because of anger, or have you not? You can see many people around you who have lost everything because of anger. They have no good relationships, no health, no prosperity, everything they have lost because of anger. And I remember there was this one brother, and he was 90 and living alone. And he used to tell me that I get very angry at my driver, and he's the only person who stays with me, and that driver is acting out, and he's being very insolent and very insulting these days. So I asked him, where did all the other people go? You had no one in the family, no children, no wife. So he said, I drove everybody away. Everybody was bad and wrong, and I just pushed everybody out of the house. And I said, what did they do when they were so bad and wrong? So he said, they always did everything wrong and incorrect, and I got very angry. So I said, okay, so you have chosen this life that you will not deal with your wife and children, but you will deal with the anger of the driver and the insult of the driver. So good for you. You have chosen this life. You have driven everybody away, and now he's the only person left. So why don't you drive him away also? Because he's also doing the same thing that your children and wife did. So he said, no, I can't drive him. He's the only person left, and I can't drive a car. So I have to keep him. So I said, okay, then this is your choice, that you will listen to the insults of the driver. And so you see that this is how anger works. And I will also, there is this thing about anger that everybody thinks that my anger is about somebody. So, sometimes in the immediate family, with your spouse, children, or parents, there's not that much anger. But there is anger about somebody outside. Yes, you are getting angry on maybe the politics of the country, or maybe your boss who is in the office, or maybe just the state of affairs in the society. But the thing is, when you get angry about something outside of the family also, outside your house also, you carry that anger inside, and you come and create that vibration and atmosphere of anger in your home. And I remember there was this one brother, and he was into the, I think some armed forces, and he used to have a lot of anger, and he used to stay mostly outside in postings in different areas. But whenever he used to come home, he would spill all that pent up anger onto his family, his wife and children. And those family members, they really lived in the fear that my father or my husband shouldn't come back on leave. They really had this thought always that, God, let him not have a holiday and let him not come. And whenever he used to come, he used to be so angry, keep shouting all day, that the children also had a lot of anxiety in later years, and the wife also went into a lot of depression in later life. So why I'm sharing this with you is because sometimes you feel that, your anger is about somebody outside and not with your family members, or not inside the family. But whatever you bring home, whatever you bring inside will have an impact on the internal family, and then that environment is not an environment of growth and peace. So that environment will definitely lead to, less and less prosperity, and everything that you have will soon be lost gradually. Now, there is another very beautiful saying which I had once heard, and that saying is, "It is truth that liberates, not your effort to be free." So, it's a very profound saying that when you want to be free of something, if you keep making effort to be free, that effort will not lead to freedom. It is the truth that will liberate you from that bondage. And this is a saying about internal bondages. And I had heard this saying when I was, I think, in the 7th standard or 8th standard. And I always kept thinking about it, that what does it actually mean that the truth will set you free or the truth will liberate you? Because I had no idea what is truth until you meet Baba, who is called the truth. God is called the truth. God the truth. Yes, so when I met Baba, I understood what truth means. And Baba tells us that if you fight with anger, if you want to leave anger, you make a lot of effort to calm yourself down, that effort is not going to be permanent. And have you seen that in the world, many people are making an effort, the effort to count until 10 when they are angry, or the effort to, just drink a glass of water, or, there are many kinds of efforts that people put in. But those are temporary solutions maybe, but not permanent. But Baba tells us that when you understand the truth, when you churn on the truth and you imbibe the truth, then you can free yourself from vices. And the first truth is, who are you? So, I am a peaceful soul. So just go within and stabilize yourself in your truth. And Baba says, just go within. Go within means be introverted. Baba uses this word, introverted. And what is introverted? In Hindi it is called antarmukhi. Now this is the mukh. So it has the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin, everything. So all the 5 sense organs are there in the face. So this is why Baba says, go within, go away from the pull of your senses, and just know that you are a soul, and just stabilize yourself in your swadharma, your religion of peace. And then with your swadharma comes remembrance of the Swapita, your father. So you remember Baba, who is the ocean of peace, and that is how you become peaceful. And Baba says that the more you consider yourself to be a soul, go within and remember Baba, that is the method to be peaceful. And then when you come into action, you come into action from a place of peace within. And when your sanskar of peace is activated, then in any situation, you will be able to conduct yourself peacefully, and you will not blame the situation for your sanskar of anger. So this is the method. And then Baba also says that some children, they say that they can't remember Baba. And I have seen children who have been in Gyan for 8 years, 10 years, they also say that I can't remember Baba. There are some children who say, I can't remember Baba. Now Baba says that you have to understand a simple thing, When you say you can't remember Baba, first ask yourself, do you consider yourself to be a soul? Yes. So, Baba says that some children say there is nothing that I can see from the eyes, so I can't concentrate on Baba, right? So, there is nothing physical or visible, so that's why I can't remember Baba. But just ask yourself, do you see through the eyes or do you see through the buddhi? What is it that you see with? Is it your eyes or your buddhi? Seeing is an aspect of buddhi always. You never see with your eyes. You always see with your buddhi. Even when your eyes are open and there's something in front of you, you can only see it if you focus your attention on it. And just ask yourself, can you see the past with these two eyes right now? Can you see the future? No. Can you see distant places? No. But you are in all those things all the time. You are experiencing the past. All the time your mind is in the past, into the worries of the future, into the worries of the other who are not in front of you. So how do you see all of that and how do you experience all of that if eyes are very important for experience? So it's always the buddhi. And you see, there are two things about the buddhi. The buddhi remembers something that you have seen through the eyes, and then the buddhi can create an image of it again. Okay, so first process is you see, understand, and then remember. Second process is you understand to see. There are many things that you have never seen, but you have understood it, so your buddhi can experience it through that understanding. Did you ever see the coronavirus? No. But you could understand it and you could create fear and insecurity and a lot of stuff by just understanding its presence. Can you see the bacteria and the viruses? You can't see. Can you see the laws of physics working? You can't see. But in school you learn about it. Have you ever seen the parts of the body practically? Have you ever seen a toned body? Only doctors have seen it, and other people have not seen the heart or the liver or the kidneys of a person. But you understand, and through understanding you know that this is my heart, this is my kidney, this is my liver. So you understand everything through pictures and knowledge, and then you can create an image of it. So Baba says that I also give you the knowledge and understanding of who you are, and with that knowledge, with that understanding, you can see who you are. And you can also see Baba through that knowledge and understanding. And this is why Baba says that the more you see yourself as a soul and the more you experience Baba's company through your buddhi. Because you see, just like you can experience fear and insecurity just by through your buddhi. How do you worry? You worry because you experience situations through your buddhi which trigger that fear and insecurity in you. Similarly, when you sit in Baba's remembrance under that shower of love, peace, joy, then that remembrance is going to color you and you feel that you are accumulating the peace, love and joy from Baba. And I will tell you one incident, I've shared it earlier also. There was a brother and he used to come for the course, and that was around, I think, very in the beginning, to maybe 10-12 years back he used to come. And then when he used to come, I gave him the chapter of Baba and then the soul world, and then I conducted the meditation for him where you consider yourself to be a soul and go to the soul world and sit in remembrance of Baba. And while he was doing that meditation, I could see the calmness on his face, and I could see that he's experiencing the peace of the world of peace. And okay, so after that he went away and he never came back. Okay, so then I asked him over phone, why didn't you come back? And you had a good experience also, from as far as I know. So I said, yes, I had a good experience, but you see, what we were doing was just imagination. So I was imagining that there's a soul world, and I was imagining that there is God, and I was imagining that there is peace coming from God. So I don't want to imagine. So he said, that's why I don't want to come. So I said, okay. So he stopped coming. But you see, we never lose connection with anybody. So we kept sending him messages and stuff, and positive thoughts and this and that. So that continued. Then around 8 years later, or maybe some more years later, when it was COVID, at that time he contacted us after so long, and he told me that, Didi, I want to talk to you. So I said, okay, you talk to me. So on the phone call, he said, I'm feeling very anxious, and I'm feeling very, very troubled and upset inside because of this whole COVID situation. So I asked him, is there any practical situation happening right now? Are you having the disease, or somebody else around you having it? So he said, no, all my family members are healthy, and I also never had COVID, but I'm just feeling anxious thinking about it. So I said, not thinking about it, by imagining it, right? So you are imagining in your head that, this person will get COVID and that person, but you are somebody who doesn't do imagination, I thought. So how can you get disturbed through imagination if you can't feel peace through imagination? So he said, I understood that, and I understand your point now that, so I said, do you understand that whatever we call reality is never objective reality. It's always subjective. And that subjective reality is created when you play something on your mind depending on how you conceive it and perceive it through your buddhi. So whatever you conceive and perceive through your buddhi is played on your mind always, and that creates your subjective reality. And if you ask me, there is no aspect of reality which you can call objective reality on which every person of the world will agree. No, there is nothing like that. It's always some aspect that you are conceiving through your understanding, and then you're perceiving through your buddhi, and then that plays on your mind and becomes your experience. So I again tell you that do the same thing. Instead of understanding the virus through your buddhi, understand God and the soul world through your buddhi. And just take your awareness to Baba, just take your awareness to the soul world, and absorb the peace, absorb the ocean of peace into your mind through that process, and that is called yoga. So you see that Baba tells us that when you understand the truth, and truth is not gross or physical. Yes, truth is something that is the truth because you can experience it when you know it. There are many aspects of the world which are not gross or physical. but they are true. And similarly is Baba, similarly is our home, similarly is our Shanti Swadharma. So Baba says the more you connect yourself to your Shanti Swadharma and sit in remembrance of Baba and draw in the power of peace, the more you will, rise above your vices, because it is truth that liberates, not vain effort that you put in to just, dismiss anger or not be angry. So there are two things that I want to underline today. First is this idea that there is something called righteous anger. That has to be dispensed with, because you see that there is a very big belief, there is a very big belief system in the world that when somebody is wrong, your anger is right. So when somebody is wrong, your anger is right. And because we have this so subtly, that's why we don't even detect that it's something that I shouldn't do and I'm doing. Because it is so subtly engrossed in us that when you think somebody is wrong, then you have the right to be angry. And this this belief system has to be replaced, and you have to understand that anger is wrong and two wrongs do not make a right. Even if somebody is wrong and you are angry, so it is two wrongs, and two wrongs don't cancel out each other. So if somebody is wrong and you are angry, you are equally wrong. So this is something that we need to understand. Second thing, anger is a sanskar, and it is my sanskar that makes me angry, and it is my sanskar that makes me see reason to get angry. It is not any situation or any behavior that warrants anger. It is my sanskar that tells me that you are right in being angry in this situation. So anger is a sanskar, and there is nothing like righteous anger, because when we are right in Satyug, we are not angry. We are never angry. So we have to understand this. And then Baba says anger does a lot of damage, and we have to keep that in our awareness. And another very big point that Baba says for Baba's children is that when you get angry, you defame Baba's name. Yes, because these days, when you become a BK, nobody abuses you, everybody abuses the BKs. So you do anything and people who watch you will say, do BKs do this? Are you taught this in the class? So it is always Baba who gets the insult. So Baba says, in anger, anger reveals itself, it doesn't stay hidden. So you have to be very careful that you don't incur the weight of defaming Baba, because there is one sin you commit by being angry, second sin you commit by taking the burden of defaming Baba. So don't do that. And then Baba has told us in Avyakt Murlis that when you get angry at somebody, then they don't forget it for at least 6 months. Once you deal with somebody in anger, they never forget it until 6 months, at least 6 months. And in those 6 months, if you again get angry and then again in those 6 months you get angry, just think about what is the cycle of karma you're creating. And when somebody remembers your angry face and angry words, do they shower you with blessings? They don't shower you with blessings. So they suffer because of that remembrance of your anger, and then they also give you those opposite of blessings because of which you suffer. So one act of anger brings so much suffering on the soul. And have you seen that sometimes you're doing everything right and still you're not able to feel the happiness or the carefreeness or the joy that you think you should feel when you're doing so much good karma. You're getting up in the morning, remembering Baba, you're doing so much seva, you're doing everything, remembering Baba. But still, when Baba asks us, do you experience that super sensuous joy that you're entitled to experience as a Sangam Yugi Brahmin? Then we say no. Why? Because it is these donations of the opposite of blessings that keep coming because of all the seeds of anger you have sown in your life. Or so this is why be very careful that we are sowing the seeds of good karma, but one karma of anger, and that sows a seed which gives a lot of the opposite of blessings come our way. So we have to, Baba says the only way to move forward is with Pursharth and blessings. So Pursharth we are doing, but we also have to be very careful that we don't do anything that makes us not earn blessings. So these are some things about anger that I thought I should share, and the Murli is full of lot of jewels, so go through it and have your own churning also. Om Shanti.